We got a little presentation now to make it. We're going to be right back onto this, some more good bluegrass. Hey, Ronnie Hopkins. I'll get you and Mr. Bill Monroe up here. Are you ready, Joe? All right, let's get Mr. Joe Mitch McElwain up here, and he's going to say a few words to us. Got a presentation here for Mr. Bill Monroe.
First of all, I'd like to say the speaker sends his regrets. He was going to be here tonight and present this himself. We had the 1st of December pretty well coordinated, but as this month drew to an end in our session next month, things got kind of crowded. I have a proclamation here commending Bill Monroe as the father of bluegrass, and I'll read a few words of it. And when I present this, we have Morris Lee Scott, who has a concurrent resolution that was passed in the legislature to be next. It says the citizens of Tippah County and Ripley began this annual event to honor the father of bluegrass music, commemorate Bill Monroe's illustrious career, which has spanned over 50 years and resulted in the sale of 50 million records. Bill Monroe briefly lived in Ripley in the 1930s and enjoyed playing music in Ripley more than anywhere else. This Christmas season special event will also feature Bill Mitchell and his band from Tupelo as the opening act will culminate in the performance of the father of bluegrass. Bill Monroe's career has defined the music he created, and his band is a finishing school for the finest in bluegrass, including such notable alumni as Lester Flatt, Earl Scruggs, Mac Wiseman, Jimmy Martin, Don Reno, Sonny Osborne, Bill Keith, Howie Forrester, and Peter Romo. Bill Monroe has received numerous honors for his unparalleled contribution to American music, such as the United States Senate resolution recognizing him as the creator and chief proponent of bluegrass music, introduction into the Country Music Hall of Fame, and being one of 4 acts selected by President George Bush to perform in the International Economic Summit held in Houston, Texas earlier this year. It says, as Speaker of the Mississippi House of Representatives, I extend best wishes to Bill Monroe, the father of bluegrass, and to Tippah County and Ripley, Mississippi, upon his 4th annual Bill Monroe concert, December 22nd, 1990. The citizens and government officials of Tippah County and Ripley exemplify all that is great in the state of Mississippi, and this event is a perfect example. Signed, the Honorable Tim Ford, Speaker of the Mississippi House of Representatives.
Well, this is really wonderful here. This is a keepsake that I'll keep as long as I live, and I'll put that right there in the Bluegrass Hall of Fame. And this is really wonderful here. And I tell you, I've just got another little surprise for you folks here tonight. I'm not bragging on Bill Monroe, but he can really do what I'm going to tell you. He can put a fiddle number together, or instrumental number together, sometimes in a half a minute, or a minute and a half, something like that, or sometimes take a little bit longer. But he just put one together back here, and I've got to tie Ripley, Mississippi into it some way, because here's where that I put the number together. So you folks have got to go along with me on that and say it's okay.
listening to Bill Monroe on Saturday night on that old battery radio in the Grand Ole Opera. I never dreamed that I would ever see Bill Monroe, much less be on the stage with him. Tonight I'm honored to be here to present him a resolution that was passed, a commended resolution that was passed by the Mississippi House and the Mississippi Senate. This time I'd like to read you a concurrent resolution commending Bill Monroe, the father of bluegrass music, for his contribution to the world of bluegrass music. Whereas William Smith Monroe was born to a musically oriented family in Roseland, Kentucky on September 13, 1911, and whereas Bill Monroe and his siblings were musically inspired very early by a fiddling mother and his brother and her brother, Uncle Penn Vanderbilt, and whereas Bill and his older brother Charlie turned professional in the early 1930s and became the most popular of the many country duet groups of the era, and whereas Bill and Charlie actually began performing as square dancers on the National Barn Dance before achieving success as singers and musicians, and whereas when the brothers split in 1938, each formed his own band, and Bill's band, which he called his Bluegrass Boys, gave a name to the musical style he was to formulate. And whereas Bill Monroe and his Bluegrass Boys joined the Grand Ole Opera in October 1939 and immediately became one of the opera's most popular acts. And whereas Bill Monroe, the father of bluegrass music and a direct descendant of the 5th President of the United States, was elected to the Country Music Hall of Fame in 1970, and whereas Bill's style of music was rediscovered in the 1960s by a new generation and a new audience, and today is one of the most popular and widespread forms of country music on a national and international level, and whereas many modern musicians such as David Grossman and the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band owe a debt of gratitude to the father of bluegrass for their successful careers, and whereas it is the policy of this legislature to recognize and commend excellence, especially when evidenced by such an important pioneer of a truly American art form. Now therefore be it resolved by the House of Representatives and the state of Mississippi, the Senate concurring therein, that we do hereby commend and congratulate Bill Monroe for more than 50 years of playing bluegrass music, for which he is known as the International Father. Be it resolved that copies of this resolution be furnished to Bill Monroe, the Grand Ole Opera, the Country Music Hall of Fame, and to the members of the Capitol Press Corps, adopted by the Mississippi House of Representatives March 24, 1990, signed by Tim Ford, Speaker, and Bradford Dye, Lieutenant Governor. Bill, on behalf of the people of the great state of Mississippi, it's my honor to present you this to commemorate the fact that you have been the father of bluegrass and what you've meant for entertainment in this country.
Well, before you leave here, I'd like to say this too. You know that Jimmy Rogers comes from Monroe, Mississippi.
Yes,
Blue yodeler.
Yes, sir.
And he had a lot of numbers, you know, like number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, went on up to 10 different numbers that he recorded. And my greatest hit was Mule Skinner Blues, you know, of Jimmy Rogers. And I really appreciate that. And they want me to come back down to Meridian and play again, you know, do Mule Skinner Blues. And the people here in Mississippi have always been on my side, and I really appreciate that. I respect them, they do me. We all stay as close friends, and we can help each other, be fans, friends right down through the years, and that means a lot to me, to be a friend. And I just want to bring this up tonight. I want you to back me up in that gentleman over there. Will you let me come back again sometime? Boy, that is really something there. State of Mississippi. You couldn't beat that, boy. That's wonderful. Thank you so much. Boy, that is a William Smith Monroe. That's, you know, that's WSM in Nashville, Tennessee. Their radio station is WSM. We shield millions. Bill Monroe. I'm really proud of this. This is really wonderful. This will make me think that I'm a lot bigger than I thought it was. And this should put you on my side, and where you'll pull for me and help me as I go along.
It definitely does.
Thank you so much. Thank all of you folks.
Thank you. Let's give Mr. Bill Monroe and the other two gentlemen here a big hand. And while the Bluegrass boys are getting this